Hi guys, it's Stacey here from TycoonFactory.com, and this is the second video in the Facebook ads series. So last time we looked at using audience insights to find out who we should be targeting within our niche. And today I'm going to show you how to set up a basic ad. So I've gone to Facebook Ads Manager, and in the top right hand corner I clicked the button that said create an ad, and that brought me to this page. So as you can see, you've got a lot of options here. So you can boost a post, which is boosting a post that you've already put on your page. You can promote your page, which is getting likes for your page. You can send people to your website, which is great for affiliate marketing, or if you want to just get people to your website. You can collect leads, which is where you can give away something and get a lead form. So the people who you're advertising to would actually fill in a form on Facebook to get your free gift. Or you can get people to install your app or other things, depending on kind of what you're using within your business. So I'm going to use the send people to your website just to give you an idea. So we would just click on that, and that's our objective sorted. So basically we would then just click continue, and it's going to take us to set our audience, and this is where our audience insights that we did in the last video come in handy, because this is where we're going to put this information. So you can obviously target to your location. For example, when this comes in handy is if you're, for example, shipping a physical product. So let's say I was selling an item. I don't particularly want to be paying shipping if I'm shipping that myself and not charging the customers to United States. So I would target people in United Kingdom. If you were just trying to run traffic to your website to try and get opt-ins for your campaign, for your email marketing, then it doesn't matter where you're targeting to. So you can obviously think about this and think about kind of where you would like to sort of target to. Bear in mind that tier 1 countries, which are places like the United Kingdom, the United States, Australia, those are more expensive to advertise than if you are advertising to other countries. So just bear that in mind. So as we come down to age, obviously from our audience insights, you should have an age in mind. So I think our audience insights were between 24 and 35. Because these people are the optimum target market for the kind of products that we are promoting, and you've found that out from doing your audience insights exercise. And we found that it was almost 50-50% with men and women, so we can just leave that as all. Now we're going to be targeting people who speak English, because our ad's in English. Obviously you can target whatever language that you write your ad in, and that's fine. So your detailed target, and this is where it gets interesting. So some of the demographics that you wrote down before from your audience insights. So for example, we found that the majority of people who were looking for what we were looking for were married. So relationship status of married. So we click that. We also found that they had some college education, so we can add in college graduate. And you just need to search for these. So I think it was a mixture between married or single, wasn't it? I don't think there was very many people who would mark themselves as engaged were looking for our service. So we've got those. We've got college graduate, because we found that the majority of people who were looking for our searches had some college. So put in some college as well. So that's our education and marital status. Now, you can put everything in here that you found in your audience insights. So you can put everything from income levels, jobs, relationship status, education level. So all of those things go in there. So that gives you a start, but then what you want to do is narrow the audience with interest. So we're going to click narrow audience, and as well as one of these things, they must also match one of these things. And this is where you start and put in some of the interests that they had. So for example, some of the interests were online marketing, content marketing. And again, all of this information, it's not guesswork. This is information that you've come up with from your audience insights. And you can continue to narrow this audience down until you have got sort of a decent sized audience. You don't want to be in the broad section, you don't want to be in the specific section. Ideally, you want to keep narrowing it down till you're about here. Now, here's a little tip for if you were promoting a person's affiliate product. So, for example, one of the products I'm a fan of is ClickFunnels, and I often promote that. So what I would do is I would exclude people, and from that I would exclude Russell Brunson. And the reason for that is because ClickFunnels is Russell Brunson's product. So it's ridiculous to try and promote his own product to his own audience, because obviously he's going to be promoting his own products to his own audience. So it's, you can utilize the exclude people as well. And so you can continue to do this until you've got a decent sort of number of people. So as you can see, it says I could reach an estimated daily of 810 to 2,100 people. So you can continue to do that using the information that you found in the audience insights. And we just continue to do this. You can also save this audience for later. So if you found that this audience converts well for you, you can save it so that you can remember it, and next time you don't have to put all this information in. But for the amount of time that using the audience insight tool works, I would suggest doing it every time because things change. So that's fine. So we then scroll down to placements, and it will try and have you on automatic placements because then you're going to get the most exposure and Facebook's going to make the most money. But what you want to do is click edit placements because your ad's not going to be suitable for everywhere. So first of all, you've got devices, and what this is for is if you select kind of one type of device, it'll only show your ad on that kind of device. Now, all devices is recommended by Facebook because they reach more people, but it's not always viable. So for example, if you're selling a product that's quite costly, you're probably going to want to go with desktop only. And the reason for that is because if somebody's on their desktop, chances are they're either at home or at work, and they are kind of in a more settled situation. Whereas with mobile, they could be out and about and not really in the frame of mind to place a large order like that. So it really depends on what your product is and what you're trying to achieve with your ad as to which you pick here. But let's, for this purpose, select desktop only. So we've then got these platforms here. So because we've selected desktop only, the audience network is ineligible. Now I often disable this anyway, even if I am running ads on mobile, just because I like to make mine a little bit more targeted. So on Facebook, I don't want the right column because the right column looks like an ad. I want the Facebook feeds. So that's what I would select on there. And Instagram's fine. Obviously, they haven't got it on because we're not selecting right column or mobile. So Instagram's fine if you're doing mobile. So that's that. And as we scroll down, you can then select your budget. So you can put 11, I mean, obviously in pounds, you might be in dollars or whatever your currency is, but you put your daily budget here. So you can choose what that is, and that allows you to set a budget and make sure that you don't go over. And what you want to do is, rather than set a start and end date, you want to run it continuously, because if it's not converting, you can go in and pause it at any time rather than sort of setting a start and end date and then finding your ad switches itself off when it's starting to do really well and get conversions for you. So as we scroll down, let Facebook do your bidding for you. So leave automatic selected. Facebook know what they're doing and they can get you the optimum amount of click-through rate. So we're going to click continue. And it then brings us to create our ad. And so from here you can select single image, single video, slideshow, and I'm going to select single image for this, but video works really well if you can upload a video. So you come down here and you're going to select an image. Now what I would do is upload more than one image, because what will happen is Facebook will automatically scroll through the images that you've got and display them kind of in turn. And so what that does is it automatically starts and tests which image is getting the best click-through rate for you. So I would upload 3 or 4 images, and you can click browse library and upload ones from your computer if you like. If you're going to do those, I would be tempted to use a tool like Canva to put text on them beforehand. But just be aware that Facebook don't allow images that have more than 20% text on them. So they need to be mainly images. The other thing is if you haven't got images, then you can use this free stock images tool, which is great. So you just click on that. And within stock image, you can just search for a term. So for example, we can put computer in. Let's say that this ad is about, I don't know, making money online, and we can start and select images from here. Now, what I've found in the past is the images that kind of look interesting tend to get a better click-through rate. So what I mean by that is this image here is a bit bland and a bit boring. But something like that is much more interesting. I actually found a great one in here a couple of weeks ago that was doing really well. I don't know if I can find it now. I think that was under business. Let's try business work from home, see if I can find the image that converted really well. Just to give you an idea of what sort of images go best in these ads. But it's things that look interesting. Think about what you would click on. No, it's not on there. But yes, kind of this kind of thing's fine. But the a bit boring. So try and pick something that's just got a little bit more about it that you would pick up, that you would click on. And what you also want to do with this as well is to make sure that you use your target avatar. So you might want to pick one image that has a woman of ages 25 to 35 on, and one that has a man aged 25 to 35 on. And you'll probably find that the majority of people that click the male image and the majority of people that click the female image are the corresponding gender. So you'll have the majority of men clicking the image with the men and majority women clicking the image with women. But I tend to try and stay away from that and go for sort of computer based images if I was doing this sort of thing. But like I say, try and pick really interesting images that are just a bit different or a bit interesting or make you think. Like for that, for example, I know that's a weather based thing, but I'd be like, okay, what is that all about? And I'd be interested in clicking that. So we'll try that. And you just click it and it'll automatically start and load them down here for you. Let's see what else we've got. What's this image? Now you can also start and think outside of the box a little bit. So you can think about kind of what you would put in your ad text. So for example, if you wanted to run a business ad that involves how to make money online, you might find an image of a dog and utilize a headline something like live a dog's life and find a really cute dog that somebody might take a picture of. But just bear in mind that you can't mix the two kinds of ads because all these images are going on at the same ad, and then if you suddenly put a dog on there it wouldn't make sense, so that would be two separate ads. But just to give you an idea, that's kind of, you can start and think outside the box a little bit and think about your headlines and things. So we've got 3 images there, so let's just go with those for now. And they're all quite interesting images. They're not necessarily clear, which adds a little bit of sort of not confusion, but it's interest. You know, it sparks a bit of an interest, and people are thinking, okay, what is that? I need to see this. So you put your link in here. You choose the Facebook page it comes from. Now that might be a page that you have set up for your business, or you can run it from your personal page if you like, but ideally what you want to do is set up a business page before you start this process. You're going to put your text in here, and what will happen is it'll start and design your ad preview over here for you as you go. So let's put our ad text in here. I'm just going to put any old link in here just so we've got one for the purpose of this. And we're going to show advanced options as well. Okay, so in here you would put some text that's really interesting. So um, I quit my job to um, work from my sofa. And you're just really trying to spark interest all the way. So you would put your text in there. Now your desktop feed is usually a bigger ad. I need to choose a Facebook page for this. What we got? It's now loading the feed because I've done that. I quit my job to work from my sofa. Let me teach you how. Now, is that something you would click on? That's what you've got to think about all the way. You need to think about, okay, what would spark my interest? You know? Um, and so that'll give you an idea. And so as you scroll down, you've got this section that you can start and edit. So we've got view and news feed, and that'll show you what it would look like in your news feed. And you just need to make it really interesting, make it what people would click on. So have a think about what it is that you would click on and what you would kind of find interesting or what would spark your interest. And that is basically, it's as simple as that. That's how straightforward it is to start a Facebook ad. And then you would click place order. So if you've got any questions, guys, just give me a shout. I'll answer best I can. Obviously, there's way more to Facebook ads than that. I mean, you can go so in depth with this stuff, but that's just a very, very basic Facebook ad setup. So if you need any help or anything, just give me a shout. Don't forget to like the Facebook page and you can post your questions on there. Okay, shall speak to you soon, guys. Bye.